Yo guys, welcome. It's Elite Scalp Micropigmentation here, and today we're going to be talking about what are the most common questions you hear in scalp micropigmentation. I've been doing scalp micropigmentation for the last year and a half. Right now, I'm in McAllen, Texas. I traveled over here. I'm from Eagle Pass, Texas, so I am doing visits over here, and I have pretty much over 40 plus sessions under my belt, with more coming. Getting really busy with this stuff. So the most common questions I have heard in scalp micropigmentation is, what's the price? For sure, obviously everyone wants to know the price. Um, how bad does it hurt? A lot of people mix it with traditional tattoos, but one thing is that we're not dragging the needles, we're not just doing pigmentation dots. And does it turn blue or green over time? And how long does it last, and what is the aftercare? So I'm going to be answering all those questions one by one, so if you are watching this, you don't know what it is, and you're looking to get answers, or those questions asked, this video is for you, bro. So stay tuned to the end so you can get the most value. All right, so starting with the first question: does SMP hurt? Now, with my clients, I always tell them everyone's super different, man, because there's some clients that have like high pain tolerance, and there's some that don't, you know. And in the areas of the hairline, when I'm working on them, a lot of people tend to have a little bit more pain, just because we have a little bit more cells, we have a little bit more sensitivity around this area, right? Because we are working with the scalp, and once you get to the back, you don't feel anything. But it's also contradicting, because I have clients that say the back hurts more and the front didn't feel anything. But I still use some numbing spray, and that basically numbs the pain. So on a scale of 0 to 10, if I can break it down over all my clients, the most painful it's gonna get, it's about 5 to a 6 in certain areas, right? And then the best is like a 1 or a 2, because I've gotten clients with tattoos, full sleeves, bro, like, and they're like, bro, this is nothing, right? So it's nothing. So hopefully that answers your question. If you're kind of scared about the pain, it's not too bad. I have clients fall asleep on the chair, so you're good with that, man. All right, so on to question number 2: does scalp micropigmentation turn blue or green? And this is very known with traditional tattoos. Traditional tattoos usually turn blue or green when you use very, very cheap ink. Now, the reason why SMP doesn't turn blue or green, what happens with SMP, it just lightens over time. Excuse me, right? So the ink we use, it's specially made specifically for scalp micropigmentation, and we also use a dilution. So we can dilute this one and get basically get you the proper skin tone color, and also so it doesn't turn blue or green. So yeah, guys, we use specialized carbon based pigments, and also we don't go beneath the level of the epidermis level. So that's another reason why it does not turn blue or green. It just lightens over time. So hopefully this answered that question. On to the third question: how long does scalp micropigmentation last? So this is another common question that I get across the board, and it typically depends anywhere from 3 to 6 years. Depends how well you take care of it. Depends on what profession you're in. Because I usually tell my construction guys, since you guys are in the sun more, it's more exposed to the sun. You're more exposed to sweating consistently, so that may play a factor in, instead of lasting 6 years, it might last 4 years, and it's going to start to fade in 4 instead of 6, right? But you work indoors, AC, it's going to prolong that process. But with the way I do it in Elite SMP, I give 2 sessions. I give a third touch-up session if you do need it, and I also guarantee lifetime touch-ups. So the way I do everything is I make sure you guys are taken care of, not only short term but long term. So hopefully that one answered your question on how long it lasts. On to the fourth question: how much does scalp micropigmentation cost? So this depends on who you choose to go with, right? Everyone has different pricing, right? One thing is, don't go cheap on this, man, because it's a permanent thing. It's your facial, and it's very important that you want to take care of your facial face. And obviously, everyone sees you every day, right? So The way I do it, I can't speak for any other artist, but the way I do it, it just depends how much hair loss you have and what type of work you're looking to get done, right? So is it just gonna be like the hairline, or are we looking to do the hairline full density, full crown density, and then sometimes it gets even like more expensive when it's like you have no hair on the side, so we have to create the whole fade all around the head. So like I said, it just depends, but typically price range from what I'm charging is $1,000 to $3,000, and that includes everything I just mentioned a little bit ago on all the sessions. So hopefully that one answered your question, and let's go on to the fifth question. So question number 5, is SMP a traditional tattoo? It is not a traditional tattoo. Why? Because we use specialized needles to be able to mimic the size of a hair follicle so it can make it look super realistic. So just think about it like this. When we use a needle, ours is just two combined together to make a little pigment dot. When it's a traditional tattoo, I don't know if you've seen, but you have like maybe like 4 or 5 needles, huge needles that they're dragging. They're dragging against your skin. For us, it's basically we're just doing pigmentation dots, right? Sorry for the camera moving. But yeah, man, even our ink is, specialized for scalp marker pigmentation for the crown, for the head area. So it is not a traditional tattoo. This is very different. I have had clients that have gone with traditional tattoos to get their SMP done, and they come completely messed up. They have blowouts, they have migration, everything looks like a shadow, it looks ugly. Don't go cheap, don't go with a tattoo artist. If you want to get this done correctly, go with somebody that's certified and has good work already, proven on their social media. So hopefully that one answered your question. SMP is not a traditional tattoo. Alright guys, last question that I get a lot is, how many sessions do I need in order to be able to get the look that I want? So that all depends how much hair loss you have, right? But in my case, all my clients are usually done by the second session. And that's why I always give out a third free touch-up session, just because everyone's different. The way everyone heals is different. The way their metabolism, process the inks is different. It is everyone registers the ink different, and it also depends on how well the client takes care of the aftercare. So that all depends. But in my case, all my clients have been done by the second session. Only like a few cases have been like, hey bro, I need a touch up, I want to darken it up. Boom, book it in, we get it done. So yeah, that's how many sessions it usually takes. So hopefully that answered that question. And with that being said, guys, thank you for your time. If you watch this video all the way, I just have some advice from you. Like I want to give you guys some advice on being able to choose a correct artist that's really gonna take care of you. Has proven work. And he's not just doing it for the money, man. Like at the end of the day, the money's a byproduct of you adding value. So with this being said, I hope I answered the most popular questions. On my next video, I'm gonna be talking about what to expect during your SMP journey. So stay tuned for that one, guys, and thank you so much for watching. Follow for more content like this. Comment down below any questions you might have. I'm more than willing to help anybody that has any questions. Hopefully these answered the most popular questions. So with that being said, guys, thank you, and we'll catch you later.